All right. Hey, yeah, we're live. So let me just post live here. We're live. Come join us. Well, thanks for being here, folks. Awesome. How many here are agency owners like myself? All right. High-level agency owners. Excellent. Excellent. So my name is Steve Rosenbaum. I'm an agency owner just like you. I have an agency called Flawless Follow-Up based in Austin, Texas. I'm also a sales guy. I've been a sales guy my entire career, nearly 3 decades in the corporate world. And it's just what I love to do. And I love to help businesses get more business. I want the businesses to get more customers, more clients, more sales, more profit. I want you to get more clients. And recently, Bayant asked me to join the Extendly team, actually come on board, and I'm now the Chief Revenue Officer for Extendly. You'll be seeing a lot more of me. And one of the things that I really want to make sure is that I help you folks get more of everything. Jay, I love the 10X hat. Awesome. Beautiful. All right. Now, so today, my sexy title for the presentation was the fastest way to sell more of anything, right? So let me get that up on the screen and we'll show this. And as I promise you, this is going to be a very short presentation. It's going to be that fast. Let me get it up on the screen here and then I'll show it. Hang on one second. There we go. All right. Now let me make sure that everybody can see my screen here. You know, when I share my screen, I lose sight of everybody. So hopefully everybody's going to see my screen now. Let's see if I can see everybody. Yeah, okay, it says participants can now see my screen. And I got the chat monitor here, chat window open too. If you have any questions, feel free to post it there. Okay, you guys ready for the fastest way to sell more of anything? I told you this is going to be super fast presentation. Here it is. Here's the answer. Stop selling. That's it. Thank you, folks. Thanks for coming. That's all I got for you. But seriously, I'll keep it going from here, but I want to tell you why I decided to talk about this today. I actually had this conversation with one of my students just a few days ago. And she was trying to sell SaaS services, trying to sell her marketing services to somebody. And she said, Steve, how can I get this person to do this? How can I get this person to do this and whatever? Yeah, Nick says, educate, don't sell. Well, that's part of it, Nick. Exactly right. Okay, that's exactly right. But the problem with selling is nobody likes to be sold. And really, I want to show you several different ways to get this point across. And then let's talk about what really, really works. Nick says educate. You're right. In fact, I teach, Nick, I teach 3 E's, not just educate, but also entertain and engage. So when I nurture somebody, when I create a nurturing sequence, you're right about the education, but entertaining and engaging as well. I hear something in the background. I'm not sure what it is. All right. And everybody is seeing me and hearing me all right, right? Charles says they all love spending money. That's right. I remember, this is funny. I Googled today. I remember back in the day when I was a salesman. I was with a company, actually sold travel products. And I remember a buyer she worked for a department store in Denver. And I remember every time I walked into her office, I laughed. She was a buyer. Now, get this. Her title was buyer. She was in charge of buying, all right? When I walked into her office, she had this poster on her wall. We shoot every 3rd salesman, and the 2nd one just left. It was funny because I Googled this. This is exactly what it looked like. I mean, it almost looks like her office, but I always laughed. Every single time I went to call on her, I always laughed. She's a buyer. We shoot every 3rd salesman, and the 2nd one just left. Nobody likes to be sold. And this is the problem. When people go in there and they immediately, their antenna goes up and they think that you're a salesperson, man, their defenses go up too, and their willingness to talk to you go way, 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 way down. If you are oozing that you're trying to sell them something, that perception is going to come off. Zig Ziglar says you can have everything in life you want if you will just sell other people what they want, or or help people get what they want, maybe more what Zig said. I think, I don't know, I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I said he never said you can have everything in life you want if you'll sell other people what they want. He said if you'll help other people get what they want.
That's right. That's exactly
Sorry.
right. No. That's exactly right. Okay. Because nobody likes to be sold, right?
Yeah.
Gary Halbert, the late great Gary Halbert, if you're aware of him, he's one of the marketing copywriting legends of all time. And he says you could do a better selling job when at first it does not appear that you are attempting to do a sales job.
Mm.
And now, by the way, so coaching this student of mine last week, and I asked her, I role played with her. I said, help me understand. I pretend that I'm the person, the shop owner that you were walking into, and I want to hear the conversation. And she walked in and she started the first thing she started to do was introduce herself. And I said, stop right there. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who you are. In fact, why would you introduce yourself unless you were trying to sell something? Customers don't walk in and introduce themselves for the most part. People that want to engage in a conversation, for the most part, they don't start off with, hi, I'm so-and-so. So they don't care. And one of the most important things you have to understand is you have to get through to them with something that they care about, something they're excited about. And starting off right away with, and by the way, she was kind of stuttering and stammering, and I understand it, but that nervousness also takes, it gives it away. You got to get comfortable with this. You got to get comfortable with engaging people and approaching people and the art of conversation and starting it naturally. Because you can do a better job selling if at first it doesn't appear like you're attempting to do a sales job. And this is so true in everything that we do. And there we go. Charles, you alluded to something like this. This is Jeffrey Gitomer from the Sales Bible. And this little sticker here, I blew it up. People don't like to be sold, but they sure love to buy. They sure love to buy. And it's never been more true than right now. And what I mean by that, I think I discussed this maybe in one of my earlier presentations several weeks ago. In today's economy, in today's world, the consumer has all the power. It did not used to be that way. And what changed it? The internet changed it. The internet changed it. The internet given the consumer the ability to do research, to be able to find anything that they want, to be able to compare things, to have access to things literally all over the world. It changed it for everything. One of my last jobs in the corporate world, a little over a decade ago, probably close to 13 years ago, I was with a building materials company. And we sold to home builders. And I can remember having a conversation back then, 13, 14 years ago with a home builder. And he said to me, it's getting really tough for me. He said, it used to be that people hired me to build their home and I was the expert in the room. I decided what materials to use. I decided what to put in the house. They might get an architect to draw up plans and stuff like that. But when it came to the building materials, when it came to what type of materials, what type of doors, what type of windows, what type of flooring, what type of anything, I was the expert. He said, now the consumers are coming to me, the homeowners are coming to me, and they're like, I want to build this house and I want you to use this, and this. And a lot of times they'd be talking about new materials that they never even heard of, new materials that required some special training or installation, new materials that might have been more expensive, and new materials that maybe they didn't have as much profit margin into. And he says, it's getting harder for me to build my homes. My profit margin is going way down, and I'm finding that I'm not the smartest person in the world, in the room anymore. But the home owners are coming to me and seem to know more about the home they want to build than me, the homeowner, the home builder, the expert. And that power shifted to the consumers because of the internet, because they can do that. And because of that, consumers, they will not tolerate being sold. And by the way, when I say consumers, I also mean businesses. I also mean clients. I also mean the people that you want to be your clients. They're not going to tolerate being sold. They want to buy, and they will buy what they want. Is this making sense to everybody? Let me know. I got to get a sip of water here. Let me know if this is making sense and if it resonates. Believe me, I offer, I welcome any differing opinions or whatnot. All right. Now, what is so important is the offer. The offer. And this is where most of the people that I'm meeting in our space now I'm speaking directly to agency owners, and specifically agency owners that maybe they offer high level, right? What I find is they don't have the offer dialed in. Now, by the way, I know this. I know better, okay? And I made this mistake myself for many months when I first got into high level. I was guilty of this. And the reason why is because high level is so intoxicating. It's such a powerful platform. It can do so much. And I'm assuming you've got the same mindset that I have, which is I'm looking at a business and I know I've got this great, powerful package behind me called high level and extendly, correct? And I know, and I'm looking out there and I know, well, I can do this, this, and this. And I talked to a business owner and I didn't dial in on something. I didn't get the offer. So they said, what do you do? And I would just start thumping my chest like a gorilla. I can do this and I can do this. And we got a technical term for that in sales training, and it's called a show up and throw up. I can do this, and this. And you know what? I look at them like, wow, that's cool. But then they didn't hire me. You know why? They were confused. I was offering so much. It was like pointing a fire hose at them. And I just blew them away with everything. Feature vomit. Who said that? Was that Charles? Sounds like Charles. Yeah, exactly. All right. So consumers have more information than ever now. B2B buyers are 57 to 70% through their buying research before contacting sales. So true. All right. And when they do contact sales, to Charles' point, they're probably this close to being ready, willing, and able to buy. We're going to talk about ready, willing, able to buy in a second. Better to do benefit bites. I love that, Simon. Benefit bites. All right. More importantly, let's focus on the results. For instance, I'll let you in on a little secret of what I do at Flawless Follow-Up. How many folks have heard of a database reactivation? Have you heard about it? DR, right? Database reactivation, right? How many of you are doing database reactivations for your customers and clients? Say DR if you're doing it for your clients. All right. Awesome, Simon. Awesome. So here's a little secret for you. Okay. Trying, says Nick, with an LOL. Nick, I'm gonna ask you to unmute in a second. I want to talk to you about that. All right. Database reactivation is very, 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 very powerful. All right. But there's a problem. Anybody know what that problem is? When you ask a client if they want a database reactivation, what do they say? There you go. Simon just said it. They don't know what it means. Simon, you hit the nail on the head. Pow, you're exactly right. They don't know what it means. How do you get around that, Simon? How do you get around that?
That's a good question. We aren't completely around it yet, but our main direction has been, let's find something to call it that is more intuitive.
That's a good idea.
Simon, you nailed it. Was that you, Simon, that just said that?
Yeah.
All right, I want to show you. I hadn't planned on doing this, but
that's my business partner. I just want to dote on him for a second. That's my business partner.
And who's that? I can't see who's talking. Who is that?
Shelby.
It's just relaxing by the pool.
Excellent. I love it, guys. I'll tell you what, I wasn't planning on doing this, but let me show you something. And one of the things you'll be seeing from us in just a few weeks, all right, is something that one of the first products that I'm developing now as part of Extendly is we're working on something we're calling them AMPs, and they're agency marketing packages, turnkey, and is exactly what we're talking about right now. And here's how I go to market at Flawless Follow-Up. Let me show you. I'm going to pull up something on my screen. And here's how I go to market with a database reactivation campaign. All right, here I'm going to pull it up. All right, all right. Is everybody seeing this on my screen? The fastest way to get members coming back to your gym and skyrocket your ROI without spending a penny on paid advertising. You guys, are you able to see that? I can't see. Yep. Okay. So folks, you know what I'm selling here? What am I selling here? I'm selling
getting
database
members coming
reactivation.
back. Yeah,
What's
getting
that?
members come back. Getting members to come back. So it's database reactivation.
Okay, that's correct. Okay. I'm speaking to you because you know what it is. I'm selling database reactivation, but nowhere on this entire page do I mention database reactivation. Okay. And nowhere am I really talking about the software. I show a little bit about the features just so they see what it gets, but I'm also showing the features and more about the results you're going to get. Watch your pipeline grow on day one.
You're producing this for us?
What's that?
Did you say earlier you're producing this for us?
We are making something like this for you. Yes. So what we're doing right now is this. I'm running this right now for my agency called Flawless Follow-Up. And based upon the results we're getting from this, we are developing something similar for you that we'll be releasing in just a couple of weeks. Do you like it?
Yeah, let's have a. We want it now.
We're almost ready. Who's saying that? Is that Simon?
That's Nick.
Cool, Mick.
I got a gym I'm working on right now.
Are you serious?
I'm actually sitting here in the gym in the cafe area.
There you go. So, and we're also, the one we release will probably be more for general business, but we just tweaked this and made it for gym. The only way we tweaked it for gym was we changed the headline, we changed a little bit of the wording, and check this out. See these images?
Uh-huh.
Guess what? They're AI.
Yeah, I was gonna say those look like AI images.
They're AI. Yeah, they're AI images. And we did that inside a high level. So bringing back more members shouldn't be rocket science. Now we're literally doing this right now for a client who is not quite a gym. They're in the fitness space, but they're not quite a gym. And I mean, database reactivation works. You guys know that. And we are getting amazing results. But where I'm going with all this is dialed in on the offer. So if you go down here, what you're going to find is here's our offer. Our offer is very, very, very strong. All right. And the offer says, try us out for $99 for 60 days. And then it becomes $299. All right. Now, why do we do this? So
they can see results.
Bingo. Okay. With the database reactivation, they see results. I know this. We're going to get them results right away. We could have done it for 30 days. However, the new A2P laws or regulations threw a monkey wrench into that. So now when we sign them up, the first thing we do is we do an onboarding call with them, and when we help them get their A2P signed up right away, and we let them know, look, there's about a 2-week waiting period right now, and it is so far it's been about 2 weeks. We're expecting maybe it to go up to about 4 weeks. So that's why we're giving them 60 days. We're telling them it's going to take us 2 weeks to get yourself authorized to be able to send out these text messages. So let's get the A2P done on the very, very first call. Then we ask them to start gathering their contacts, gathering their and everything else. And then 2 weeks later, after they are fully compliant and they get approved for A2P, then we run that database reactivation. And like you said, Mick, they get results like that. And
the good thing is that after they go through the process of getting the A2P, then it's a little sticky because it's like, well, went through all this whole process to get registered, right? So it just kind of helps make it sticky. But I have a question about this particular page right here.
Yes, sir.
You have on there $99, normally $299, right? So how do you get past the like your 3 tiers that you have offered in the Go High Level
SaaS configurator?
Yeah, SaaS configurator, right? So do you have to have the first tier set at $99, or are you doing this through some sort of other invoicing or something?
So great question. Okay. The first tier is actually, so our levels are 99, or sorry, our first tier is $299, and then $499, and then $699. All right. Now, what I believe we're doing, and I might have to confirm this because I got a guy who set this up for me on the back end that works for me. Okay. What I think we might be doing is that one technical way of doing this, I think that would work is we're selling them at the first tier. We're only giving them the very basic stuff that they need for the DR. And this is how we walk them up to the third tier, right? To your point, we want them to see the success. And with that success, we want that to open up the doors to them wanting more. For instance, we're not even giving them access to the CRM at the moment. And we know that with this, we're allowing them to drip out and have conversations with individuals. But we know that once they have success, they're going to say, well, I want to send out bulk emails. I want to send out blasts. I want to see my whole CRM. We're like, okay, well, now you got to go to the next level, $4.99. That's a second tier. That's a second level of the SaaS. Now, the technical way.
Well, at the $2.99 level, you're giving them just the very basic, right? So you're not giving them
very
access,
basic stuff.
you're not giving them access at all at first. You're just charging them $99, and then maybe you get that paid up front, or maybe you get 2 months paid up front, and then actually have them sign on to the system after that. Maybe, I don't know.
So the technical part of it, I will have to look into. All right. What I think we're doing is that I think it's $2.99 is the sign up, but your first payment is $99 for 60 days. Somebody says that the trial is only 30 days. I'd have to follow up with you about the technical way that we're doing this. All right. But let's not get too hung up on the technical way. We can follow up with that. And
yes,
I'll tell you this, when we come out with the amp that we're developing, the product, the agency marketing package, we're going to do a webinar and we will show all of that. We're going to do that sometime within the next couple of weeks. So
are the amp packages going to be part of the regular Extendly membership, or are they going to be add-ons like the onboarding?
It's going to be more of an add-on like the snapshots. All right. So it's going to be another product. It's going to be more than just a snapshot, because we're going to have the full marketing that goes with it, such as this, right? We're even developing a video for you that we're developing right now as well. I have a video at the top of the sales page. Now, taking a step back of where we were in our conversation, notice though the power of the offer. Now, I'm not telling people that we've got this huge SaaS package that can do everything. I'm not talking about the features. I'm talking about we're going to get customers coming back to your business. In this case specifically, we're going to get members coming back to your gym for $99. Try it for 60 days, or it's free, and we'll give them 100% money back guarantee. Because what I know is this: every time we've ever done this reactivation, it blows people away. Their conversation manager lights up. We've got them plugged into the pipeline. We got them plugged into the dashboard, and they go nuts. They see the value right away. So there's one fitness. Pardon me?
Yeah. So I've done almost a dozen DR campaigns for doctors in the medical niche.
Yes.
For the first couple of times when we run the DR campaign for the same client, it works. And from the third time onwards, it just slows down. So why would people keep paying $300?
Okay, well, so first of all, thanks for saying that. Who is this?
My name is RK.
RK?
RK, yeah.
Okay. So thank you for asking that. And that's a great question. I don't know exactly how you're doing it. We're not going to have the issue the way we're doing it, and here's why. All right, first of all, we're taking their database. In this case, this fitness studio gave us 8,000 contacts. Now, by the way, this is a perfect lead for this, because she's buying leads every single month. She's paying $2,000 in advertising to generate leads. When she gets those leads, she hits them with 3 or 4 messages, and after that, she stops. So I asked her, okay, how long have you been doing this? She said, I've been doing this for a long time. I said, so you've got a lot of leads that you're no longer messaging, right? She said, yes. She had like 8,000 of them. Now, we're taking those 8,000, okay, and guess what? We didn't message all 8,000. We're messaging 100 a day. That's going to take her 3 months to go through it just once. Right? So to go through it 3 times is going to take us, the better part of a year, but she's always getting more leads on top of that. So I don't know if you blasted everybody or not, but
I did like 30 messages a day. And because
I don't know how many she started off with.
First time was awesome. Great results. They were so excited.
Yeah.
But they didn't have 8,000 leads. They had a list of maybe less than 1,000, maybe 1,200 leads.
Okay.
So it was exhausted in 3 months.
Well, okay. So that's part of the issue. Raymond says the efficacy depends on the size, the quality, the recency of the offer. He's 100% right. All right. So all those factors, not knowing exactly how you're doing, what Ray says is exactly right. Those are the important things. So for us, we got a powerful offer. We make sure our clients have a powerful offer. And then he's right about the recency also. You know, we go back to people that were not too long ago. But we always find that we get people interested. And the reality is this: you're still going to have a lot of people that say no. You're still going to have a lot of people that don't respond, but that's irrelevant. What we're looking for are the yeses. And if we're able to convert 3, 4, or 5%, and basically there's no additional money that they're spending, they're going to love you because you're getting their phone ringing, you're getting the conversation started, and you're getting people back into their business. So it works, and it definitely does work. We could talk more about, because today I did not want to talk specifically about database reactivation. We certainly will talk more about that, especially when we launch our AMP in a few weeks. And by the way, so somebody said a name. So we've got a name that we're trademarking, and it's called the Win Back Challenge. All right. In our video, we talk about the Win Back Challenge. So come up with your own name. Don't use win back because that's trademarked. All right. And so is flawless follow-up. But you're right. Call it something that customers or that your client understands exactly what you do. We're gonna help you win back your customers. All right. They don't know what a database reactivation is, and they don't care, and it sounds techie, and they don't like techie. All right. So all those things, get your offer dialed in. Now, once they have success and they see they see what the platform can do, what else can we do? I mean, look at it this way. Once we do a database reactivation and we get people raising their hands and coming back into their gym and signing up, well, what's the next thing we can do for these folks?
Hello?
Heidi says it sounds like the win bag challenge.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
You
you're
have
welcome.
active subscription under with your.
All right. I got background noise there.
Hold on
John,
again, I'm
can
sorry.
you mute?
I'm sorry.
I might have to mute everybody. There's too many people talking.
Hello? Yes.
Hello.
Hi, I have a quick question. When it comes to like basically how many people, like who qualifies before I can say I know I can run a campaign for them, a database reactivation campaign for them that'll be successful? Is that like a 500? Is that 500 database that they would have? Is it 1,000? Where's that threshold in terms of?
So today, I don't want to spend any more time talking about database reactivation, because today I want to talk about selling as a whole. I was showing the entire what I was showing here was the power of the offer. All right. So let's not go down a rabbit hole of exactly how to do the DR. We will do that. We'll do that on a future call, probably in a couple of weeks in coordination with the AMP, and we'll answer all your questions about that. But for now, the main focus here is on the power of the offer. All right. So in other words, when we walk in now to talk to a business, we don't walk in and we don't say, my name is Steve, I want to talk to you about a great marketing system. We walk in and we say something to the effect of, I notice there's not as many people here in your gym right now because it's so hot outside. Would you like some help with that? All right. And I might even start off, that might even be a little too salesy, but the bottom line is we're starting off speaking about a specific result. I've got a package here for just $99 for 60 days with 100% guarantee that I could bring people back to your gym. Would you like to know more about that? What am I not talking about? I'm not talking about the software. I'm not talking about all the features. I'm not talking about all the things we can do. I'm talking about for $99, 2 months, 100% guarantee to get more people back into your gym. Is that something that interests you? And if the answer is no, I'm okay with no. I'll just go to the next gym. See, the other thing about having a small offer like that, you get a fast answer. And that was the title of my presentation today, the fastest way to sell more of anything. If the answer is no, the answer is no. That's okay. There's more gyms that need help getting members back. All right, does that make sense, folks?
Simon always tells me it's selling benefits. I mean, not that we're selling, but it's benefits over, or it's features. It's benefits over features. You shouldn't be going in talking about all the features that High Level offers. You should say, you know, if we do this for you, then it's going to bring this to you. They don't care about your fancy CRM. They don't care about 4,700 features that High Level offers. They care about what it's going to bring to them.
Absolutely, positively true. Absolutely true. They care about more members in their gym. That's 100% right. All right, so the power of the offer. A confused mind does nothing. To your point, I think that was probably Heidi that was talking. If you're talking about all the features, they'll get confused. There's so many features, number one. And number two, many business owners are not as tech savvy as you and I might be. If we're geeking out on the software, they don't know it. They don't understand it the way we do. You know, we geek out over it. We love it, but not them. They don't like tech. And by the way, here's another secret about business owners. They don't like marketing either. To them, it's like going to the dentist, right? They don't even want to talk about marketing. They do want the results, Heidi. You're 100% right. That's it. What's in it for me? That's what they're wondering. And if you give them something like this, and they're feeling like, my God, I better buy right now. It just doesn't make sense for me not to buy. This comes down to things like urgency. Hey, we're having a special right now, okay, and for a limited time only, for $99, we will get more people back in your gym within the next 60 days, or it's 100% free. This offer is only available for a limited time. It doesn't make sense not to buy it. If your offer is so good that you could get these points across, you're going to have much, much, much more success. The power is in the offer. If you go to market trying to sell everything you can do, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work. So this is where we're going with the amps. We're going to help you with these powerful offers, these powerful ways to bring fast results to people in a very, very small package that works. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. We got lots of comments here. I love that. Love that. All right. I talk a lot in my teaching and my coaching. I talk about ready, willing, and able. You gotta have all three of these things, folks. You gotta have the right message, the right person, and the right time. That's when a sale happens. That's when people want to buy. If you don't have all three of these things in alignment, you end up trying to sell. Look at this. When you sell, you're pushing, and you're pushing on people, and people don't like to be pushed on. So the best thing you could do is get yourself in front of a large audience and look for people that are ready, willing, and able to buy right now. All right, that's it. Remember this also. Sales can be personal. Sales can be personal. That's Robert Cialdini. He wrote the book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. Many people know it. One of his 7 secrets of influence is that people buy from people they like. And in any marketplace, these numbers are going to be roughly true. 25% of the people will never buy from you. They might not like you. They might not like your hairstyle. They might not like the way you look. They might not like the way they sound. It's personal. They just don't like you. Now, you shouldn't take that personally. Just know that's true. We can't please everybody. And 25% of the people are not going to buy from you no matter what. You need to know that. 25% of the people, they might not like you, but they may be persuaded with some work, with some effort. You may be able to persuade them. Now let's start talking about people that do like you. Another 25% of people, they may like you, but they still need to be persuaded. And then there's 25% of the market that will buy from you no matter what. They like you. They like the way things sound. They're going to buy from you no matter what. But there's 5% of those people, they're just not in a position to buy right now. They're not ready, willing, and able for one reason or another. Maybe the timing's not right. Maybe it's financial. Maybe it's something else. So the bottom line is there's really only 20% of the market right now that you can really get to and make a sale quickly. So what do you do about those other 80%? How do you convince those other 80% to buy from you? Any ideas?
Follow up.
You got to
No.
you got to market to them and follow up. You know,
Okay.
so build a relationship and offer value, educate and win them by educating them. Like, man, I'd like to be on his ship. I want to be on his boat.
Pardon me. So I like where you're all going with this. Okay. The bottom line, pardon me, I got to cough for a second. I'm sorry. So I like where you're going with this. Okay. What I don't want you doing is I don't want you spending your personal time trying to convince those people. If you can engage them through a follow-up system, if you can nurture them, if you could educate, entertain, and engage them, remember the 3 E's? Perfect. Perfect. Let your system do that until they become one of those 20%, and they will buy from you, and they are ready, and they raise their hand. So going back to my student, she says, how do I convince this person to buy this? Don't. If you've got a system set up, engage them, ask them to go watch a video, get them onto a nurture campaign. That's wonderful. Let your system do that work. Remember, 50% of those people, they might not buy from you no matter what. So don't waste your time right now. Because right now, while you're busy speaking to one of these 80% that are not going to buy from you, there's 20% of the people that will buy from you. The problem is this. If you don't get to them fast, they might buy from somebody else, or they might forget altogether, and you might lose them. So there's an opportunity cost for you to be trying to sell somebody that does not want to be sold. There's an opportunity cost of you missing a sale from somebody who's ready, willing, and able to buy from you right now. And that's why that saying about every no that you get gets you closer to a yes. It is so true. Be okay with no. It's okay for people to say no. And then you could ask them if they like some more additional information, and maybe they'll say yes to that, or maybe they'll say no. And that's okay also. Just be okay with it, because you need to understand there's so much value in what we do. There's so much value. You literally can save businesses. My clients have told me that, and you've probably had clients that told you that. We literally can save businesses by helping them get more customers back, by helping them follow up better, by helping them sell more of whatever they have. We can save businesses, but we can only save businesses that want to be saved. And if we try too hard to save people that don't want to be saved, then we're actually, it's a disservice to the people that are looking for you that want the help. Does that make sense, folks? It's really important for you to understand how important you are. You are so important to these folks. Don't try to convince people that don't see it. There are plenty of people out there that do see it, and they're looking for you right now. And your goal is to find them. Your goal is more of a detective's job than a sales job. So with that, I'll close out with this. Shortcuts for making this happen faster. All right? It truly is a numbers game. The more people you can get in front of, the better. Why do I do webinars like this? Because I can get in front of a lot of people. Why do I network? Because I can get in front of a lot of people. And with that, let me say one more thing. All right. When you get in front of a large audience, you filter first. What I mean by filtering first, you look for people that are ready, willing, and able to buy right now. Remember our last slide, that 20%, right? We filter for those people. And when we get the people that are ready, willing, and able to buy right now, that's where we spend our time. The other people, we nurture them. We nurture next. These are the people, you guys got it. I'm reading the comments. You got it all right. You're exactly right. If they're not ready, willing, and able to buy, nurture them, educate them, entertain them, engage them, nurture them until they are ready, willing, and able to buy. So that's the first shortcut. Get in front of a large audience. How do you do that? Join a chamber of commerce, join BNI. And most importantly, this is my favorite, get introduced by an influencer. Get introduced by somebody that already is connected to these people, that they already know, like, and trust. Because remember my slide when I said, about people, whether they like you or they don't like you. Here's a key. If you get introduced to somebody and your introduction came from somebody they already like, they're going to like you too. See, I can tell you that I'm the world's greatest marketer. And you're just going to say, it's Steve. He's just so full of hot air. But when Bayon hires me to be the chief revenue officer and tells you, listen to Steve, he's great at sales, it just has a little bit more credibility than me telling you that, doesn't it? That's the importance of getting introduced by an influencer. And I do that all the time. I network with people, and when I join these networking groups like the Chamber of Commerce, like BNI, going to meetups or whatever, I go there and I don't go there looking to sell people in the room. I'm looking for referral partners. I'm looking for people that have a large audience. Maybe it's a printer, okay? A printer that's connected to lots of lots of businesses in the area. People that print menus for restaurants, right? People that do printing for companies. I'll tell you, one of my best referral partners ever was somebody that sold radio advertising. He was connected to everybody in town. He'd been selling radio advertising for years and years. Plus, he understood the importance of frequency of messages and frequency of follow-up. And he realized that my product actually complemented his product. And so he started introducing me to his clients. I got somebody that closed a $40,000 package on my very first call because I was introduced to him by a radio sales guy he did business with. And I didn't have to convince that guy I was a great marketer because the influencer did. So if you want a shortcut, folks, figure out how can you get in front of a large audience? How can you join up with a referral partner, with an influencer that can connect you to a lot of people? This is a lot easier than going door to door to door to door, or cold calling, or even paid advertising. Borrowed authority, says Simon. 100% true. 100% true. I spend the majority of my time networking and finding referral partners. In fact, the client that I was spoken about earlier that I am doing that database reactivation campaign for, they came to me through a referral partner. And they came to me pre-sold. And that person brought me a second person at the same time. And by the way, based on the success I'm having with my database reactivation program, I asked her for a video testimonial, and she gave me 2 more referrals. This is how I grow without selling, folks. This is the fastest way to sell. I don't sell. I get recommended, I get referred, I get people that raise their hand and say, I want what you need. I have a very, very powerful offer. This is how I grow my business. And, we grow it very quickly. And this is how we do it. And by the way, we do it. Well, you'll see when we do a webinar in a couple of weeks. When we do a webinar, we show you the AMP. We bring in 30, 40, 50 people at a time. But that's the way we do it. We spend our time building an audience of hungry people. And then we have an offer that they can't refuse. How many of you would like to be able to get 30, 40, 50 people at a time? You could do it. I could show you how in a couple of weeks. Is that something you'd like to see? It's a whole lot easier and it's a whole lot more fun than going door to door.
Oh, yeah. I'm in.
All right. Let me stop sharing here, folks. All right. Let me stop sharing. All right. What do you think? Was that the fastest way to sell anything?
Build an audience of 30 people and then offer a webinar or something that teaches them.
That's it. And if you team up with folks, hey, Philip, good to see you. This is somebody that was referred to me not too long ago. All right. So if you team up with people that all right, that know you, they love your service and so forth, they'll introduce you to other people. All right. And especially it works when your service complements theirs. All right. When they're not afraid of competition, and we shouldn't be afraid of competition. It's such a big world out there. It's such a big marketplace out there. And we do very specialized stuff. So what did we learn today? What did we learn today? I'd love some feedback from you about the most important things you learned today. Let me know in the chat. And also if anybody who has any more questions, wants to talk about things. I do want to keep the DR database reactivation conversation. I don't want to talk about that today. I want to talk about that in a couple of weeks when we're more prepared to talk about specifically how we're going to help you. Nick, build an audience of 30 people, then offer a webinar or some sort of one-to-many session with a presentation and a final sale. Absolutely. By the way, a great way to do that right now is LinkedIn events. Create an event on LinkedIn. Especially works when your service complements those. And okay, so let's talk about that. Team up with somebody on LinkedIn that has an audience that will do a webinar with you. I do that a lot. I do an event on LinkedIn, but I team up with somebody that has their own audience, and I get them to invite people. I'll incentivize them. I'll give them an affiliate commission or a referral fee or something. I'll make it worth their while. Of course, I'll also refer people back to them. That's what referral partners do. If they're not interested, go to the next one. You know, it's just not in our DNA to want to say no. People ask me all the time, Steve, how do I convince that person to do this? And they don't like it when I tell them, stop trying to convince them. Why are you trying to convince them? If we're truly in it to serve our customers and our clients, there's no need to convince them. We only want to convince them when we're in it for ourselves. And when we're in it for ourselves, what are we doing? We're selling. And nobody likes to be sold. They will smell you coming from a mile away when you want to sell something. When you go in there and you want to convince them to do something, they know it. They know it, and the BS detectors go up, and they put a big wall around them, a big moat around them, and you're not going to do it. You're not going to sell them. People don't want to be sold. All right. Don't convince anyone, because we are here to help them, and if they don't want help, you can't help them. It won't happen. Yeah, Nick, basically, yes. And I know I said it that way, but it's a great idea to have a really good nurture campaign in place. I've got something on my website. I call it my shock and awe page. Let's see if I can show that. And I know it's a little old, and I know it might even be broken right now and needs a little bit of help, but let's see if I can find this right now. All right, so I have this on my website. Hang on, I gotta share my screen again. All right, so I hope everybody can see this now. Thank you. I put together a few goodies for you. More to come. Watch this and discover the perfect sales storm. I call this my shock and awe page. All right, so, and I know it's broken. I got to fix this stuff. When I meet with people, and it's not a yes right now, I send them here so they can learn a little bit more about me. I send up some follow-up emails with some lead magnets and things like that, so I can monitor who's interested in what and keep them engaged. I do have a very good nurture campaign, as you might expect I would, on the back end. So if I meet somebody and they're not ready, willing, and able to buy right now, I send them here right now. It's like, hey, I'm helping you. So I'm not saying I can't help you. I'm just saying that I've got resources for you. Help yourself. They appreciate this. They appreciate that I am showing them things that will actually help them without me spending the time trying to help them. Does that make sense? All right. Let me read this comment from Simon here. Steve, right now our packages are more separated out by what stage of marketing growth our clients are. So we give them the entire GHL pass system at our low end price rate. Are we doing those people a disservice by having so much available at the outset? Simon, that's a wonderful question. And that's a mistake that I made. And I will tell you that, yes, I think we are doing a disservice. And I will tell you that that's when my churn rate was at the highest when I did it that way. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting them success quickly. And if you saw, I did a 4-week series several weeks ago. It might have been March or April. I did a 4-week series about a 12-month plan. And I would encourage you to go back and watch that. And you can see those on the Extendly YouTube channel. You can see all my past. Here, let's go here. On the Extendly channel on YouTube. I think this could be the answer to your question, Simon. And if we find Extendly, all right, let's go to Extendly, and you could search for my name. All right, there we go. So these are some of the past sessions that I've done during this coaching session. And I did 4 weeks around the 12-month client blueprint part 1. All right. You'll find several talks where I did this, talking about the 12-month client blueprint. And Simon, I think there, part 1, 2, 3, these are not in order. All right. But that will help you with exactly what you're asking. And what I've developed here is how to get them success quickly with a little bit of the program. But when you get them success, that opens up another situation that they need solved. And that's where the growth comes from. So if we get them success with just the reactivation, but then they say, okay, but now I want to talk to people, in a big, I want to be able to send out blasts to everybody. Well, okay, well, now you need the CRM. So you got to get up to the next level. Then they want to open up the CRM and they get used to that. Or, hey, let's send out review invitations. Okay, so now we're just introducing them to the new pieces of the system one at a time as they need them. When that happens, they'll get plugged in, they'll never unplug. Does that make sense? Awesome, Simon.
I think that's a good follow-up also for the reactivation campaign, because like we've discussed, it's going to expire. I mean, you can't, at some point you can't keep reactivating, right? You have to wait 9 to 12 months. So you can start plugging them in other things or use other strategies to keep them in long term. And then, hey, let's revisit reactivation campaign in 9 months or 12 months, or in
Absolutely.
16 or in 14 months, we can have a really big impact again. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And you've already earned their confidence also with the reactivation campaign, so they're willing to listen to you for the other things.
You just hit the nail on the head, Dick. Not only did you earn their confidence, they will ask you, they will literally say, what else can you do for me?
Mm-hmm.
When you get them success like that quickly, and the DR campaign will do that. I mean, literally, I've got a video of one of my clients getting their first yes in 49 seconds. We send out a text message, 49 seconds. Somebody says, yeah, I want that. And, the client, their head spinning. And within 10 minutes, they've got 12 people saying yes. And they're like, I've never seen anything work this fast. And they immediately say, what else can you do for me? Yes, exactly right. So it earns that confidence and it opens up the door for more stuff. 100%, Nick. Exactly right.
Steve, when
Yes, sir.
you're bringing someone, or when you're telling someone about your program for the first time, what's the main thing that you emphasize? You just talked about unlocking levels sequentially.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how do you go about doing that?
Well, even long before there was a such thing as a high level,
Mm-hmm.
I used a variation of a database reactivation campaign. 12 years ago, I created a database reactivation program. I didn't call it database reactivation. I called it sales CPR. So I went to businesses. I said, I could put your dead sales on CPR, life support. I can bring them back to life. They got it. They understood what I did. That has always been my door opener, Philip, because whether it's past customers or somebody's got a list or whatever, but look, any business, to me, I think this is the easiest way. Any business with any sort of a history, they've got past customers by definition. And what we know in today's world is the number one reason people stop buying from people. Do you know what it is? It's not price and it's not service. It's not because they had a bad experience. It's because they forget. They forget.
Powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah, well, and it's true. Look, I can tell you this, and I bet when I tell you this, you'll nod your head in agreement. My wife and I, every Friday night, we're thinking, man, it's the end of the week. Let's go get a bite to eat. Where should we go? And we can only think about the same place we go every single week, right? Now, during the week, we're like, hey, you know what? We should try that place. Yeah, let's remember, we're going to try that place. But come Friday, man, we got our blinders on. We can only think of that one place. People forget.
Can you say that quote again? The number one reason people...
The number one reason people stop coming back to buy from you again and again is because they forget. It's not because of price. It's not because of service. Now, I will say this. I'll put a qualifier on it. When I say number one, all right, use that. This was a study that was done they asked a bunch of people, and that's what it came up. Now, I'm not going to tell you that's a Harvard Business Review fact or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you that it's a very large reason that people will not come back to you is simply that they forget. But if you remind them, they'll come back and say, man, I forgot about you. Yeah, I like your place or whatever. I like your, whatever. But it is true. And by simply reminding them, which is what we're doing with the database reactivation campaign, we're reminding them, we're giving them a reason. And it gets fast results all the time. Even 12 years ago when I did sales CPR, and I've been doing it regularly since then. I mean, I've got case studies of weight loss doctors where I earned $22,089 in 4 days with a database reactivation campaign. My cigar client, we've done it many times. People everywhere in all types of businesses, database reactivation campaigns work. Long before there was Go High Level, even back in those days, we weren't using text messaging the way we're using it today.
Snowball.
I was doing it with email, and it still worked. All right. So absolutely. I did one for a client before I switched over to High Level. I used Active Campaign, and I had all my clients using Active Campaign, and I did a very successful database reactivation using Active Campaign. And Active Campaign wrote a case study that they featured on their blog for several years of me doing a database reactivation campaign using email and using Active Campaign. So it works. It absolutely works.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, Phil, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm guessing you have to have like a pretty enticing offer for that reactivation, or how do you go about that?
Okay, so it all comes down to the offer. Now, when you say you have to have an enticing offer, I don't know what you mean. Do you have to have a low price? You need them to understand the value of it right away. I've had people pay me. Well, I told you about the radio guy. He got me a $40,000 job with a client. He's the client that I ran the $22,089 reactivation campaign for. Now, the $40,000 wasn't all in one shot, and it wasn't all for that. But I think I charged him $7,500 to set it up. I think I charged him $7,500 to run his database reactivation campaign. So an offer doesn't mean you have to have a great price. The offer means they got to see value. So
Yeah, I mean, sorry, for your clients, what is the offer that, like, for your clients to get their past clients to pay attention? Like, hey, 50% off a cigar. Or
that's a great question. That's a great, and that is important. Okay. Yeah, you tell them, make it as powerful as possible. All right. Now, in this case, the one I'm using, I didn't think it was powerful enough, but it is. And the reason I didn't think it was powerful enough was because it's the same offer she used in her lead generation. She's giving 50% off on a visit, all right, into her studio. She's not a gym, she's not fitness, but she's not a gym, but she is fitness related. And she's offering 50% off on a visit. And I thought, okay, that's okay, except she advertises that all the time. So I was like, I'd like it to be something a little different, a little bit stronger. But she said, nah, I've got it all set up. Let's just do this. And it's working. It's working. So, I think 50% off, I think people take notice. 5%, 10%, I don't know if they'll take notice, but something along those lines. All right, who's giving us a great acronym here? I can't read all this real quick. It looks like Charles' work. Yep, thank you, Charles. There's great comments over here, folks. You should go ahead and copy all of that stuff. Make sure you copy all that. Thank you, Charles. Any other questions, feedback?
On the technical side that we were talking about, I've actually got to meet with them on Friday. Can I talk shop with you? You said your technical side works on that. Can we talk shop here in the next day, so I can try to set something up like that? See, because my price structure is $149 is the small low level, and then I go up to, but like I don't know how to set that up with the SaaS configurator where I could offer like a lesser price. I don't know.
Part of my hesitation is I have a guy who works with me now that handles all that stuff. All right. And I don't even know all the tricks that he does. I'm done with my presentation right now. So I'll say, number one, I just want to say thanks everybody for being here, but I'll stick around and talk tech for maybe another 10 minutes or so. I've got to get on another call in a little bit. All right. But if anybody wants to stick around and we can talk a little more tech and we can dive into some of that stuff I said I wanted to save till later, we'll go ahead and do that. And I will also invite anybody that can answer this question to unmute, because you might know more about the tech than even I do. And I'm looking right at Charles right now, but anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it in Stripe. So the biggest thing you have to remember with the SaaS configurator is that it creates products in your Stripe account. What you do with different prices underneath those products in Stripe is totally up to you. So all you have to do to make sure that the SaaS configurator does what it's supposed to do. So take your level 1, 149. Okay. So when you configure it in the SaaS configurator, it does 2 things, or actually 3 things. It creates a product in your Stripe account. Okay. And then it, creates 2 prices underneath that product. It creates a monthly price and a yearly price. Okay. What you can do is go into your Stripe account, go into that same product and set up an additional price. And when you do that, you can set the trial period to whatever you want. So like in Steve's case, where he's doing how you could do this in Stripe, the same exact offer, he's doing $99 for the first 60 days. And then he's doing $297 or whatever it is, $299. Okay. The easiest way to do that is to run a 60-day trial with a $99 setup fee.
Yes, you are right. That is how we're doing.
And then that way it rolls right into the $299 price. You're creating a $299 price with a 60-day trial and a $99 setup fee. So that way you get the $99 up front. They don't get charged again for 60 days, but the subscription is active. So that way you don't have to remember to go back in, do invoice or whatever convoluted way you want to try to do it. It just automatically bills them 60 days in that $299 and they're off and going.
Now that could be set up as a third price for the.
You can set up
or a second.
You
price
can
for
set
the
up
same
500
actually,
different prices.
It's actually like a third one because one is the month, the other one's the annual, and this would be the third one under the
you
same
can set up
model.
as many prices as you want in Stripe.
And then
the only thing that you'll run into.
Yeah.
And so when you import that product into your funnel, you create the price in Stripe. You do that in Stripe. Then you go back to high level, go to your products, go to payments, products, import that new price from Stripe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch it. Just leave it the way it is. Okay. Just import it. Then you go to your funnel page or your website page and add that product to that page, and it'll show up in the 2-step order form.
Ooh.
The only thing that you can't do, the reason you have to do it that way, you can't do it in the SaaS configurator. You have to do it in Stripe. But you can do whatever the heck you want to do in Stripe and just import the product. The biggest thing right now where you have to go to Stripe more often is that the order forms, the payment system in high level currently does not support coupons for recurring products. It does for one-time pays, but not for recurring. So for that stuff, you have to go to Stripe anyways to set that coupon stuff up through Stripe and use a Stripe checkout page. So that's why a lot of times, if you've ever bought anything from Extendly, it's a Stripe checkout page because they just said the heck with it. We're, unless it is a straight laced offer, we're not going to do coupons. They'll use an order form, but for everything else, they use a Stripe checkout page.
So it's basically we're just bypassing the SaaS configurator.
Well, you don't want to bypass.
You're not bypassing the SaaS configurator because, again, the SaaS configurator is based off of products. You have 3 products.
Mm-hmm.
They auto create 2 prices for each product based on the SaaS configurator, but you can go into Stripe into those same products and create additional prices all you want.
You don't want to bypass the SaaS configurator because the SaaS configurator does other things. Number 1, it's going to take care of all your SaaS billing, your email, and your text messaging. Number 2, if you're going to give people a snapshot, it's going to put the snapshot in there. So what we do, and I'll try to sum this up, and I don't know you can totally visualize this, Nick, because there's a lot of steps here. Okay, the SaaS configurator talks to Stripe and will create a product inside of Stripe. That's important, all right? Because that's how high level is talking to Stripe and knowing that this is a SaaS product. And you want to make sure that you're doing this with a SaaS product. I think it'll say agency, if I'm not mistaken, right? Inside of Stripe, Charles?
It'll say whatever you have it named as in the SaaS configurator.
Okay.
So when you look at your SaaS configurator, you should have 3 names across the top. Like mine says Pinnacle AI CRM -entrepreneur, real estate, small business. So that's what it says in my Stripe account. But I can share my screen so you can
sure.
see
If you
this
want to,
real
that'd be
quick.
awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
So let me go into here. So here's my SaaS configurator. Okay.
Mhm.
So here's my names: entrepreneur, small business, real estate. Okay. Now I give everything, I sell completely different. So disregard that. But what we're looking at is the product name. And these are the 2 pricing points from the SaaS configurator. Now in Stripe, when you go in here, you will see those same product names. There's my entrepreneur, my real estate, my small business.
Mhm.
Okay. So when I go into real estate, you'll see right now this is set as default. Now, how you can make sure that this is the right one is this price ID, TZGJ. And if I go, so it's actually IEV9. But in any regards, you can see, so I can go in here. If I want to sell this, I've got $297. I had a $97 offer at one point, $297 and $29.70. These are my 2 prices from the SaaS configurator. I don't touch those. All I do is add another price. So in here, I can do the $297 recurring monthly. Okay. And then I can add a free trial, 60 days. Okay. And then add price. So now I'm doing a 60-day trial on a $297 product or $297 price.
Where's
And
the
that doesn't conflict with no
So when they
trial
buy
on the
this,
other products.
when they buy this through a Stripe checkout page or through a funnel or website, it's going to give them the 60-day trial, but it's still going to fire off the SaaS configurator because it's under that product. That's all that matters. Where people mess up is they create a whole nother product. And they're like, well, why isn't my SaaS configurator working? Well, it's because you added a new product instead of just adding a new price.
It
to
still
the
gets the
existing
message.
product.
It's still the SaaS configurator gets the message.
Yeah,
which fires
the
it off.
price is not what fires the SaaS configurator. It's the product itself. So that's where people mess up. You just have to create an add a new price, and you can add as many prices as you want. You can do coupons on these. You can, you have to use a Stripe checkout page to use a coupon, but there's a million things you can do with this. So yeah.
Hey, Charles.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
How would you go about with the setup fee for that?
So once you import it into your sub account, so if we go into a sub account here, we go to payments, products. Once here, let me just do this.
Create a new product, and then at the bottom of that product, add
We'll
additional
do
options.
$1 recurring monthly, add free trial, 60. Now, the thing to keep in mind is if you have a 30-day trial on the SaaS configurator, you only want to put 30 days here. So be careful of that. Okay. But we'll do.
If you don't have a free trial on the SaaS
If you don't have a free trial on the SaaS configurator, then you can put 60 here.
Okay.
It's always going to add the 2. So if it's 0 on one and you put 60 in Stripe, then it'll just be 60. But if you have 30 days, maxed out in the SaaS configurator and you put another 30 days on this, it'll be a total of 60-day free trial. It's just the way the SaaS configurator works. So if we do this 30-day, we'll do a 60-day trial, add price. Okay, so now I got my $1. I just did it for $1 because I'm going to end up deleting this anyways. So now I just go to import from Stripe. There's my $1 a month, and there's where I add my setup fee.
And that $1 a month, you just put that on there as a title, right? Because
that's my Stripe price. So it wants me to select a price. And honestly, this is where it's best to just copy this and search for it, and it'll pull it right there. That way, you know you're grabbing the right price for the right product.
Folks, I'm going to have to shut down.
So,
thank you.
But that's how you do it.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right. So yeah. So the short answer is, make the additional price in Stripe, do the setup fee inside of high level. All right. Once you do it once or twice, you'll get it. You'll get it. And if you have questions, just post questions in the Extendly Facebook group, and I'm sure people will come running to help you. All right. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do we do today?
10.
All right.
I'm giving you guys
10.
10 for today. I
Hey,
don't know. I don't always give a 10, but today it was 10.
I appreciate everybody. Well, look, go make everybody jealous. Those 146 people that didn't show up, go make them jealous in the Facebook group about what they missed. All right, but we'll break his record in a couple of weeks. We will show you the win-back app, and we'll have that available for you. And then Alex will be crying. I'll tell you that. All right, everybody.
Hey, Steve,
Steve.
Want to learn Go High Level in a structured format? Check out the GHLacademy.com by Extendly. We guarantee to save you 6 months of wasted subscription costs for High Level. Just visit the GHLacademy.com.